This Texas A&M football team is not, and I can't emphasize this enough, they are not who you think they are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Tuesday. Hope all of you having a great week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. We're jumping straight into this. Texas A&M, where are they ranked? Hold on. Let me pull this up in live time just to be safe and sure, because I get confused. We got the MBG poll where I don't have them ranked as high, but we're going to go with the AP nerds. Where do the AP nerds got them ranked at? I'll pop it up on the screen for you guys. Hold on. Oh, got it right here. Number 3 in the nation. Set my phone down. Let's lock in. Let's get down to business. I'm going to ask you a question, Timothy and Bobby, Brad and Chad. Please, no trolling in the comments section. Let's keep it professional like we always do on this channel. Do you honestly believe Texas A&M is the third best team in the nation? Yes or no? Go to the comment section. I want to hear your honest thoughts and opinions. Let me ask you another question. Do you even think Texas A&M is a top 5 team? I got my number 5 in my rankings, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. Y'all know this. You can tell from the tone of my voice. I'm not high on them. I don't want to put them at 5, but I have to. They haven't given me a reason to drop them down. But don't worry. It's coming. And Texas A&M fans, you know it's coming. You're just living in denial. For the longest, you've been an 8-4, 9-3 football team. At best. 8-4, 9-3 every single season. This year, yeah, it's been a little bit different. You're 7-0. Very, very, very weak clap. There's a reason for that. You're not impressive. But Matt, we beat Notre Dame. What about that? You going to take away our win on the road at Notre Dame? No. Shut up, nerd. I'm not taking that win away from you. Not even to the slightest. It was a good win. Give you a serious clap for that. Great win. Shout out to Tyler Buckner. He's the only reason you won this game. Should have went in overtime, but that's a different conversation for a different day. You look good, but let's not act like you didn't give up a 40 burger. I'm going to say again, a 40 burger to Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And most recently, you gave up another 40 burger, this time a 42 burger, to the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think they do have an underrated offense, even with the interim head coach, Bobby Petrino. You got, what's his name, Taylor Green. He's one of the best quarterbacks, not just in the SEC, in the entire nation. Hard to stop, but 42 again? All I heard leading up into the Arkansas game is how great the A&M defense was. But, Mr. Matt, on third down conversions this year, or in the last 3 games, I believe their first 3 SEC games, against Auburn, Mississippi State, and Florida, we're holding our opponents. It was some outrageous stat. There were like 3 for 34 on the year, third down conversion rate. It was less than 10%. I think it was 8%. And yeah, that's great. That's great. But when you look at who you did it against, it's not great. You did against Auburn, one of the worst offensive teams, not just in the SEC, but in the entire nation. Mississippi State's been a laughingstock of the SEC the past, how long has it been now? I can't even remember. 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And then Florida. They just fired their head coach. They've been abysmal on offense. You played 3 of the worst teams in the SEC. That's why you hold your opponents to 3 for 35 on third down conversion rate. And it's also why your defense looked good. So take away those 3 games and the cupcake to start the year against UTSA. And then they have another cupcake. Who was that? Oh, yeah, Utah State. Hold on. We got to talk about this. You gave up 24 to UTSA and 22 to Utah State, with all due respect. That's terrible. I didn't even mean to talk about that. We're not going to get into that too much. Here's what I am going to point out. The 2 legit teams, the only 2 legit teams you play this entire season, Notre Dame, Arkansas. Arkansas is not even that legit, now that I think about it. We'll say legitimate on offense. Yeah, that's a better way of saying it. You gave up 40 to Notre Dame, and you gave up 42 to Arkansas. What are we talking about? But no biggie, right? No problem. Maybe they're an offensive team. But like Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. They're not great at offense either. They're good, not great. Big difference. There's not anything special about this A&M team. Marcel Reed is more than a manageable quarterback. He can win you some big-time games. He's good, but he's not great. He can't pass a football. Eventually down the road, you are going to run into some teams that are going to force Marcel Reed to throw the ball. Maybe it's up-and-coming week. Maybe it's at the end of the regular season. Maybe it's in the SEC championship. Maybe it's in the playoff. We'll get to that in just a second, but it's going to happen, and he's going to wet the bed. Their offense is not dependable. It's not. But here's the scary part about it. Neither is their defense. A&M's going to get exposed. You better believe that. They got extremely fortunate and lucky with their schedule. It's been nothing but cupcakes up until this point. I've said before, I'm going to say it again. I give you the Notre Dame one. That is a really good win. But you got fortunate in that game, and after that, you haven't played anyone legitimate in the SEC. I mean, what are we talking about here? Is this the easiest 4-game stretch of all time in the SEC? Auburn sucks. Mississippi State sucks. Florida sucks. And Arkansas sucks. Maybe the 4 weakest teams. Kentucky's definitely in that conversation too, but 4 of the weakest teams in the Southeastern Conference. Let's split the remainder of their schedule. It's not too much more difficult. I don't know how they got out of playing Alabama this year or Georgia. Dude, they don't play nobody. Golly. You got LSU this weekend. LSU's been struggling, but at least you kind of got a test there, but not really. They just lost to Vanderbilt. Speaking of Vanderbilt, they didn't play Vanderbilt this year. What is this? They don't even play Tennessee. Golly, man. You want to talk about getting lucky. That's them this year with this schedule. What is this? Who made this? Oh, my goodness. I digress. Moving along here, you got to go to Missouri. Missouri's not even that good. Bo Perbula is one of the worst throwing quarterbacks in the SEC. I'll put it to you like this. As bad as Marcel Reed is at throwing the football, Bo Perbula, he's worse. That's not going to be too tough, but you do got to go to Missouri. You never know what's going to happen there. They got a decent defense. South Kakalaki, I mean, they're 3-4. What are we talking about there? Sanford, that's a cupcake. And then you got Texas. They can't score points. The Texas defense is extremely respectable, so I am looking forward to see how Marcel Reed's going to fare out in that one. And that is really, LSU. Well, LSU does have a pretty decent defense. So LSU and Texas are the only legit, I'd say, top 15 defenses you play all year long. Florida's close. I would say Florida's around that top 15, top 20 area too, so I'll give you that. We'll say 3. I can't believe they have a 3 next to their name. I haven't seen a more fraudulent team ranked this high in quite some time. I don't know how we're 7 games in the regular season, more than halfway done with it, and you really haven't played anybody. I'm talking about an SEC play too. Calm down. I already know some dork. Man. Don't forget about Notre Dame. I didn't forget about them. That's the non-conference. And also, by the way, this is me kind of nitpicking, but Notre Dame was still trying to figure out their identity. They're trying to figure out themselves. But it is very odd for you to have a top 3 team and they're not really great at anything. Normally, you go, okay, like for example, you point at Ohio State, great on offense, great on defense. You point at Indiana, same thing there, really great on offense. You look at Alabama, oh yeah, they're great at offense. Alabama's not great on defense, they're just, we'll call them slightly above average or good, but they're great on offense. They got the Heisman frontrunner as their quarterback. Who else are we missing? Oh, yeah, Georgia. Great on offense. Elites on offense. They're up there at Alabama. Defense, they're just good. But with A&M, nah, not great at everything, but somehow, someway, they have snuck into the top 3. And what's really funny about all this is A&M fans, it happens to them every single year. They get their hopes up. They get ranked really high, and they still somehow, someway manage to lose a couple of games they shouldn't. Who knows? Going back to the schedule, the LSU one's not a cupcake. You're only favored by 2.5 points. Ooh, I just realized this is a... Woo! Hold on. Let me set down my drink for this one. I'm trying to digest it in. This is a night game in Death Valley. In my personal and humble opinion, this is the hardest place to play in all college football. I know A&M fans, y'all are like, no, what about Kyle? I don't care about Kyle Field. It's hard to play in, don't get twisted, but Baton Rouge, Death Valley, whatever you want to call it, is number 1 for me. At night, oh yeah, it doesn't get any harder than this. They recorded earthquakes there. Earthquakes! LSU has a good defense. You know what? I have a proposal for A&M fans. If you go out here against LSU and you put up more than 30 points, I was going to say 35. We'll say you put up more than 30 points, I will admit. By the way, defense can't score touchdowns like that, and Garrett Nussmeier can't hand you fumbles and whatnot. Offense has to score 30 points, legitimate points. I'll say you got a great offense. How about that? However, if you do not score more than 30, I get to continue to sit here and say you're not great on the offensive side of the ball. You're just good. I'm really looking forward to seeing Marcel Reed playing this one because I think LSU, they're going to do what every team should attempt to do. You're going to take away Marcel Reed's legs and make him beat you through the air. Not these short passes in the flat to the running back, curl routes. No. Make him throw 15, 20 yards down the field. Push the ball. He can't do it consistently. Can he make a throw occasionally every now and then? Yes, he can. Because I already know you're going to have some nerd A&M fan go, whoa. Mr. Matt, did you see his throw last week? That was a bomb. You talking about he can't throw? What about that? Get you some of that, you chump. Calm down, Timmy. Calm down. Even Arch Manning, one of the worst quarterbacks in the nation, strings together 2 or 3 good deep balls per game. Anybody can do it a couple of times, but can you do it consistently? And I know Marcel Reed can't do it. He's shown it to me all year long. He overthrows receivers like it's nothing. LSU's going to test him, or at least I hope they will. I'm looking forward to that one. But outside of that, Missouri, that's not a walk in the park. Zion Young, he may get a couple of sacks on him. It's definitely going to heat up. When I say heat up, I'm talking about their schedule at the end of the season. South Carolina, Sanford, whatever. Those are free wins pretty much. But the Texas one, that's going to be difficult. You go out here, you ball out, put up 30 on LSU, or you continue to get some wins, or heck, if you finish undefeated, we'll have a different conversation. But for the time being, you are fraudulent, and you know it deep down. This Texas A&M football team is not, and I can't emphasize this enough, they are not who you think they are. They alright. They a playoff team, but they not like that. Let me know your thoughts down below. But